Our 360 capture technology is new for Faxination 2016. It allows for the intelligent routing of documents between applications, any application supported by Faxination. Message delivery can include metadata when the destination application supports it, such as SharePoint. Document routing automation can initiate business workflows and create custom archives, all with detailed transaction logs and message accountability. All of these features allow your organization to improve efficiency and maintain accuracy while both managing and securing your data, from documents to insights. First, we'll take a look at scanning to SharePoint using the Faxination 2016 MFP Connector. A large national bank has branch offices all over the country, which provide local services to its customers. Due to company policy, certain types of loan applications can only be approved by a dedicated staff at corporate headquarters. The loan applications begin as physical documents with signatures. Emailing the documents is not allowed due to the sensitive nature of the information. Corporate headquarters uses first-in, first-out SharePoint workflow rules for many internal processes, and they would like to use a similar workflow for loan applications. The question is how to efficiently digitize physical documents at remote sites and then route those documents securely into a corporate SharePoint workflow. Traditionally, the MFP connector is used to scan physical documents and send them as faxes through SharePoint. This is accomplished by monitoring a network folder where the MFP is configured to deliver the outgoing faxes. Nearly all MFP devices support this feature, which is referred to as fax via folder, scan to fax SMB, or some variation. In Faxination 2016, the MFP connector can now monitor multiple network folders for the purposes of routing scanned documents to internal applications. This feature on the MFP itself is known by a variety of names: scan to folder, scan to network path, or scan to SMB, for example. Each monitored network folder can have a unique routing configuration within the MFP connector configurator. In this scenario, we're routing scanned documents to SharePoint, which can either be on-premise or hosted, such as Office 365. First, we'll create a unique network share for this route. This folder can be on the Faxination server itself or any secure share on the network where the Faxination service account has full access. In this example, we're creating a new share on a dedicated file server. The folder name is arbitrary, but it's useful to create a naming convention for these scan destinations and maintain consistency as new folders are added. Our folders begin with the initials of the local bank representative. This will allow us to configure SharePoint metadata that is specific to this individual, as we'll see later. Next, we'll configure the MFP to scan into our newly created folder. Note that most MFP devices can have dozens of scan-to-folder configurations. When integrated with Faxination, each folder can be a unique route to a SharePoint URL or any other supported application. In this example, the name field is the friendly name that will appear on the MFP display as a scanning option, and the network path where the scans will be written is specified in UNC format. Within the Faxination MFP Connector configurator, we'll enter the local network path to monitor and the URL of the SharePoint document library destination. And finally, create the metadata defaults that will be used each time a document is scanned to SharePoint using this configuration. Our SharePoint document library destination includes metadata columns to define the branch location that generated the loan application, the name of the bank representative that's working with the customer, and the representative's direct phone number in case there's a problem with the loan information. As each new loan application is processed at the branch locations, they appear immediately in the loan application's document library in SharePoint, which triggers SharePoint workflow rules and begins the approval process. Each branch location and bank representative will scan into this document library with their own unique metadata. Most MFP devices will automatically name scanned documents based on date, time, and scan sequence, but the file names can be specified at scan time when the MFP supports it. Remember, there is no Faxination software running on the MFP itself. which maximizes interoperability across different manufacturers and models. Scanning to SAP is another common business workflow, especially in long-lived industry verticals in which paper document workflows are well established and virtually impossible to replace. A tooling manufacturer receives raw materials in its distribution warehouse from a multitude of vendors. Each shipment includes a bill of lading, which is an internationally recognized, legally binding document used in the shipping and transportation industries. A bill of lading details the origin and destination of the shipment, the financial details of the transaction, and a description of the items, containers, or pallets in the shipment. While electronic variants exist, not every receiving location is equipped to handle them, so the traditional printed version remains the standard. The tooling manufacturer uses SAP's Enterprise Resource Planning software throughout its organization. The bill of lading for each shipment that is received at the warehouse must be digitized and added to an SAP archive, where it can be referenced by the warehouse manager, purchasing department, the manufacturing floor, and accounting. They are also crucial for inventory audits, quality control, and insurance claims. The Faxination configuration is largely the same as in our previous example, with the SAP connector replacing the SharePoint connector. In Faxination, inbound routing to SAP is typically based on the fax number associated with an SAP user or process. We all work with email as part of our daily routines, but important documents often exist only as email file attachments. Here are a couple of examples where file attachments can be extracted from email messages and incorporated into archives or workflows automatically using the Faxination 2016 Mailbox Connector. A pharmaceutical supplier has over a decade of invoices, purchase orders, and reports that exist in mailboxes, Outlook PST files, and Exchange public folders. Due to new government industry regulations, they are required to consolidate and index these documents to ensure that the data is readily accessible and retrievable. Manually exporting and importing the file attachments would be impractical due to the volume. The number of personnel involved and the work hours required would severely impact productivity. How can Faxination 2016 help this company migrate existing email file attachments into a document management system, and then establish workflows that will continue the consolidation as new documents are created? This sounds like a job for the Mailbox Connector. First, we'll create an Exchange or Office 365 mailbox that will receive and filter the emails. This could be an existing mailbox, but it's better to use a dedicated service account mailbox for ongoing projects. Below the inbox, we will create a subfolder for each type of document that we'll be processing. In this case, invoices, purchase orders, and reports. Next, we need to create some mail server-based filtering rules, at least one for each subfolder. Jamie and Paul in accounting will forward invoice emails to the consolidation mailbox. If the email includes a file attachment and the word invoice in the subject line, this inbox rule will move the email message into the invoices subfolder. Leslie and Adam will forward emails related to purchasing. In this case, the email must include a file attachment and purchase, order, or PO in the subject line. These messages will be moved to the purchase order subfolder. And finally, Jason and Gary in analytics will forward emails which include reports. This rule will move those emails into the reports subfolder. Note that these individuals from accounting, purchasing, and analytics can all create email forwarding rules with similar criteria, and then run them against their existing folders and PSTs. This largely automates the consolidation and categorization of the three document types, but we still need to extract the file attachments from the email messages and import them into the document management system. We'll create three routing rules within the Faxination Mailbox Connector. On the Mailbox tab, we'll specify the service account mailbox, the folder or subfolder to monitor, and the credentials to use for mailbox access. On the Recipient tab, we'll give this route a friendly name and choose a Faxination host connector to deliver the message. We'll specify the address type to be directory path, and then provide the UNC path to the destination folder. We'll create three routing rules total, one for each of the monitored folders. As each email arrives, inbox filtering rules will sort them into the subfolders which are monitored by the Faxination Mailbox Connector. Each monitoring rule references the Faxination inbound directory connector and a network folder UNC path for message delivery. A third-party document management system monitors the network folders and imports the incoming documents, simultaneously categorizing them according to the folder path where they originated. Once all of the older documents have been archived and indexed, this system can remain in place as a permanent workflow. This will ensure that all future documents will also be added to the archive. Let's look at a similar scenario which routes file attachments to SharePoint document libraries. A home electronics distributor is planning a campaign that will offer rebates on new television purchases during their traditionally slow season. A third-party website allows consumers to prepare their rebate forms and provide proof of purchase online, which is then forwarded to the distributor via email. Inbox filtering rules will sort the incoming emails by product, and then Faxination will route the email attachments to SharePoint. First, we'll create a dedicated mailbox to receive the rebate information, with subfolders for each television model that is included in the rebate. This is important because each television is from a different manufacturer and has a different rebate value. We'll create 3 inbox filtering rules that ensure that only emails with file attachments and the rebate website as the sender will be moved into the monitored folders. We'll then build out the SharePoint workflow as before, with each monitored mailbox folder associated with a specific SharePoint document library. From documents to insights, Faxination 2016's new 360 capture technology adds an entirely new dimension to the Faxination product, empowering your business with optimized and fully automated workflows, digital document capture, and specialized routing configurations. Imagination is the only limitation. Faxination 2016 is available now. For more information and to request a free demo, visit us on the web at faxination.com. Thanks for watching.